Digital twin explained in 3 minutes or less. Let's go. Digital twin, let's start with twin. Pretty much a proxy for anything. Why build something expensive for the first time when you can build a low-cost model to test out your assumptions and figure things out in advance? We saw the Wright brothers do this in 1901. They built their own wind channel to test the angle of their wing. Turns out to be the most important part of flying. They figured that out at home rather than in the air when they were risking life. Apollo 13, there's a scene there where you see the astronauts on home base working in their simulator, figuring out different combinations, and then the one that works, that's the one that they send up to space, and that's the one that the astronauts ultimately use to get back home. So again, a good use of a simulator. So where does the digital part come into play? Well, it turns out that if you can do anything digitally, it's much preferred over a physical abstraction. Digital objects are more versatile, they're cheaper, they're more scalable. So now we have a lot more digital proxies, so digital twins. If you were building a digital twin, what type of data do I care about? Well, let's think about a machine on the factory floor. What do I care to track for this particular machine? First, I want to know the state, how it's currently operating. So is it operating in a hard mode, in a light mode? Is it on, off, things of that nature? I care about the time. So was it yesterday? Was it a year ago? That's important. I care about the control. Are certain toggles on? Is it operating at a high performance level, at a low performance level? Parameters. What's the ambient weather? What's the humidity? Things like that might matter. Relationships. So is it connected to a machine downstream or upstream? Is it dependent on a certain quality of inputs, commodities, for example? That might be important, and a whole host of other data sources that you might care about. So you're going to take all of this data and you're going to put it into your digital twin or your proxy for the actual machine to run simulations, what if analysis, and things of that nature. Now, one level above this is what's called a data model. So yes, I initiate this machine and I input all of these data sources and all these connections, but why do that every time I see this machine? I can build a data model for this particular machine so that anytime I see that machine again in the future, whether that be at factory B, C, or D, I could just sort of copy paste this model of sorts and at least start off with these categories ready to be inputted for this new machine. Just helps with scalability and doing things a little bit faster. Okay, so I hope I hit my goal of explaining digital twin in 3 minutes or less, and I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you very much. Talk to you soon.